Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The big story that we are getting you at the top of this hour. Prime Minister Modi, he has just landed in India. Prime Minister Modi has concluded his France as well as the United States tour. He in fact wrapped up the 4-day France and US visit. So Prime Minister Modi is back in India. He in fact made his first visit to the United States during Donald Trump's second term. The meeting between the two leaders, it saw several milestones, including the announcement of 2 new consulates and Trump offering F-35 jets to India. Prime Minister Modi is now back in India after that meeting. In fact, it has been a historic meeting, a very short, a 2-day visit, yet a very historic meeting where Donald Trump, the US President, the new US President, and Prime Minister Modi discussed various issues. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, Prime Minister Modi, he made his visit to the United States during Donald Trump's second term. This entire meeting, it saw several milestones, including the announcement of 2 new consulates and Trump offering F-35 jets to India. And NDTV senior managing editor Nikunj Garg, he spoke to Sri Thanedar, US congressman from Michigan. Listen in to that conversation.
Joining us now is a very prolific congressman from Detroit, Michigan, Sri Thanedar. Mr. Thanedar, welcome to NDTV.
Thank you.
And let me begin straight off the bat by asking you, what do you think is the most important point of the agenda in this ever-growing, ever-expanding, becoming important relationship between India and the United States of America?
Well, look, I am really happy as a U.S. congressman to welcome Prime Minister Modi ji to Washington, D.C. This is Modi ji's 3rd visit with Donald Trump. They have, in the past, have shown excellent friendship, excellent chemistry. I hope that continues. Recently, Mr. Trump has called India the tariff king. And Trump is certainly want to see a fair treatment to the United States in terms of tariff is concerned. And so tariff is going to be the topmost issue that's going to be discussed. Currently, we have about $120 billion worth of tariff. India has a surplus of $32 billion.
Yeah, but tariffs apart, the relationship, of course, most people believe is a very expanded one, and there's a full gamut of relationship now at display. And most people think that it is the most consequential relationship between the democracies in this era. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. You know, especially with China. The China's aggression, the atrocities happening against Hindus in Bangladesh, the Pakistan's issues with democracy. There is just a whole lot of things happening. The instability in the Indo-Pacific region. With China's aggression, we need to. United States needs India. And this relationship between the United States and India needs to be even stronger for us to bring stability and peace in the Indo-Pacific region. For the United States to be able to challenge and counter China's aggression, United States needs India. And I'm hoping that this meeting between President Trump and Modi ji brings out that friendship, brings out a trust between the two. Currently, there does not exist as much trust between the two countries as it needs to be. These are certainly 2 biggest democracies.
Personally, between, then this would be my last question to you, Mr. Thanedar. I know you are a busy man and you wish to go. Currently, most people believe that there is a great amount of personal chemistry between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. And such kind of personal chemistry, as history teaches us, always has a direct bearing on the status or the future of any relationship of this magnitude. Do you think that their personal chemistry can tide over any minor or any thorny issues that may exist in a relationship of this nature and this scale?
Well, look, they both are charismatic. They've had great relationship in the past. But Trump, in his second term, comes with a little different angle. he is not very happy with some of the tariffs that India has put on U.S. goods. And he wants...
India has shown enough flexibility to remove those tariffs and engage with the United States on an even footing.
I agree. And I think it was very smart of India to unilaterally, before this meeting, just before this meeting, lower some of those tariffs. And that will go a long way in terms of Mr. Trump coming halfway to meet with India and make something happen out of this meeting. So I think India has started the right footing, lowering the taxes, which were excessive. And now Trump is looking for fairness, and both parties need to do this in a more trusting way because this relationship is very important for these two countries and for the world to have peace.
Very important words there coming from Mr. Shri Thanedar. The relationship now has achieved a scale where it is not just a bilateral relationship, but a global force for global good.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A big announcement after his bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The US President Donald Trump said that United States has agreed to extradite 2008 Mumbai terror attack accused Tahabur and Rana to India. The key accused in the 26/11 terror attack is currently at a high-security prison in the United States, and India has been seeking his extradition for years.
आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई में भारत और अमेरिका दृढ़ता से साथ खड़े रहे हैं। हम सहमत हैं कि सीमा पार आतंकवाद के उन्मूलन के लिए ठोस कार्रवाई आवश्यक है और मैं राष्ट्रपति जी का आभारी हूं। उन्होंने 2008 के जिसने भारत में नरसंहार किया था, उस मुजरिम को अब भारत के हवाले करने का निर्णय किया है। भारत की अदालतें उचित कार्यवाही करेंगी।
The United States and India will be working together like never before to confront the threat of radical Islamic terrorism, a threat all over the world, actually. Today, I'm pleased to announce that my administration has approved the extradition of one of the plotters and one of the very evil people of the world, and having to do with the horrific 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack, to face justice in India. So he's going to be going back to India to face justice. We're giving a very violent man, it seems to me. I mean, I don't know that he's been convicted yet or will be, but let's assume he's a pretty violent person. We're giving him back to India immediately, and there are more to follow because we have quite a few requests. So we work with India on crime, and we want to make it good for India, and it's very important. So that kind of a relationship is very important to us.
The Munich Security Conference is underway, and all eyes are on the key discussions and decisions that are being made. The conference has attracted around 60 heads of state, but notably, Donald Trump is not attending. Instead, the US Vice President, he is representing the country. Now, according to reports, in the meeting with the United States Vice President J.D. Vance, the Ukrainian President Zelensky said that Ukraine wants security guarantees as Trump presses for negotiations to end the Ukraine-Russia war.
What happens 5 or 10 or 15 years from now is part of a larger discussion that reflects the threat level, America's posture, our needs around the globe, but most significantly, the capability of European countries to step up. And that's why our message is so stark to our European allies. Now is the time to invest, because you can't make an assumption that America's presence will last forever.
Bedauerlich ist, und das sage ich auch, gehört zur Wahrheit dazu, die Trump-Administration hat gegenüber Putin schon jetzt, vor Beginn von Verhandlungen, öffentlich Zugeständnisse gemacht, bevor die Verhandlungen überhaupt begonnen haben. Aus meiner Sicht wäre es besser gewesen, über eine mögliche NATO-Mitgliedschaft der Ukraine oder über mögliche Gebietsverluste des Landes erst am Verhandlungstisch zu sprechen und es nicht vorher vom Tisch zu nehmen.
First of all, I don't want to meet just with Russians, just to meet for what? No, we see the order of meetings. As I said, the order is United States, Europe, then Russia. To ready to the meeting, be ready to this meeting. That is the first. We are not against everything, but we are supporting this. Not everything, but this.
And the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, he is also at the Munich conference where he was speaking on the status of democracy around the world. Now, S. Jaishankar, speaking on the democratic resilience, said that the West has been encouraging non-democratic values in the global South, and that the West doesn't practice what it preaches in the global South. Listen in.
There was a time, and I have to say this in all honesty, where West treated democracy as a Western characteristic and was busy encouraging non-democratic forces in the global South. It still does. I mean, in many cases, I can point to some very recent ones, where actually everything that you say you value at home, you don't practice abroad.
Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Welcome back. 31-member Parliamentary Select Committee is set to examine the IT bill. BJP's Jay Panda, he is going to chair the committee. BJP's Nishikant Dubey, Anil Baluni, Naveen Jindal are also part of this panel, and opposition's Supriya Sule, Dipender Hooda and Mahua Moitra will also be a part of this particular panel. Remember, this new income tax bill, it was tabled in the Parliament on Thursday. The bill seeks to replace the Income Tax Act of 1961 and simplify the language of the existing act. This 31-member Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance, it will be involved in the deliberations around this bill. Now, this new law is expected to take effect on the 1st of April next year. And days after N. Biren Singh resigned as Chief Minister, the centre on Thursday announced that President's rule had been imposed in Manipur and the State Assembly placed under suspended animation. This in fact closes a chapter and opens another one in the state that has been roiled by ethnic violence since May 2023. Now, before President's rule was imposed, a security plan was prepared and the state police and intelligence agencies, they were monitoring movements of certain individuals to prevent any untoward incident. My colleague Ratndeep Chaudhary gets us this report.
Security tightened in Manipur's capital Imphal after President's rule was imposed in the state for the 11th time. The last imposition of President's rule in Manipur was 23 years ago, from June 2, 2001 to March 6, 2002, lasting 277 days. Ever since the May 2023 ethnic violence in the state, Kukizo groups and opposition parties had demanded President's rule, but the centre had backed the Biren Singh regime until February 9, when the Chief Minister resigned. But even though the BJP has failed to come to a consensus on a new Chief Minister, the party now says all issues will get resolved.
Suspended animation जो लगाया हुआ है मणिपुर में, ये जो संविधानिक प्रोसेस है, मुख्यमंत्री ने जो मणिपुर के इंटीग्रिटी के इंटरेस्ट में जो इस्तीफा दिया है, थोड़ा यहाँ का सिचुएशन देखने के बाद फिर जरूर ऐसे हाउस भी जिंदा हो सकता है। अभी संविधानिक प्रोसेस चल रही है, तो बाद में हम इसका प्रोसेस जब होगा तब पता चलेगा।
The main opposition Congress says this is an unprecedented situation.
This is something very unprecedented in the history of this country, I suppose. I mean, to the best of my memory, I have never heard of this kind of a thing, that they had to impose president rules because despite being a majority, there is no split in the party, 2/3 people forming a different group. That kind of thing is not there simply because they couldn't choose who is the leader among themselves.
5 men who were seen in a viral video playing football carrying assault rifles in Manipur's Kangkopi district were arrested on Wednesday. But the information was made public only after President's rule was in place. With the control now directly with center, the onus is on the central forces to carry out operations to flush out armed groups and recover the looted arms on priority.
Our CM resigned because he cannot control and he cannot bring solution to this crisis. Other BJP leaders, they should know this crisis at this time. As soon as they choose someone among them as a CM, but they did not. It is failure of these people.
We are happy with the imposition of Article 356 President's rule in Manipur. We expect that the President's rule will be a beginning for active dialogue aimed at solving the crisis in Manipur. Even if a new chief minister is selected from amongst the MLAs, then we expect that the selected person will be an inclusive chief minister.
With the president's rule in Manipur, the onus is on the center to act on armed groups, bring back peace and establish a stable government. With Saikham Ratan in Imphal, K. Mangten Churachandpur, in Guwahati, Ratandeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
And even as the Kerala government promised the most severe action against the 5 accused in the horrific ragging case at the Kottayam Nursing College in Kerala, and the NHRC has sought a report from the DGP, another case of ragging was reported in the state from Kannur, where a class 11 student suffered a fracture to his left hand after he was brutally assaulted by his seniors.
DME has received the preliminary report from that nursing school. Actually, the students are doing general nursing, and this happened in their hostel. So in Kottayam, we do have both BSc nursing and general nursing. So these students, they belong to the general nursing school, the nursing school. So DME received the preliminary report, but I asked DME to send the team of higher officers, and they are now in Kottayam now. And the nursing school has already suspended these students. Maximum whatever we can do in the medical education department. So that will be done. We'll make sure that that's done.
The Reserve Bank of India has imposed severe restrictions on New India Cooperative Bank, including a ban on withdrawals for 6 months due to concerns over the bank's financial stability. This move has caused significant distress among depositors, many of whom rely on their bank accounts for daily financial needs. The restrictions, which took effect from the close of business on Thursday, also prevent the bank from issuing new loans, making investments or borrowing funds. However, the RBI has permitted the bank to offset loans against existing deposits under certain conditions and to incur essential expenses, including employee salaries, rent, as well as utility bills.
RBI जब कोई बैंक खराब परफॉर्मेंस करती है, जब उसके जो एसेट्स होते हैं वो डिप्लीट होते हैं, तो आरबीआई इस प्रकार के प्रतिबंध लगाती है, उस पर इंक्वायरी करती है, डिप्लीट होने वाले एसेट्स को रोकने की कोशिश करती है। अभी मेरे पास इसकी पूरी जानकारी नहीं है, लेकिन इसकी जो प्राथमिक जानकारी है उसके आधार पर मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि निश्चित रूप से आरबीआई ने जो कार्रवाई की है वो सोच समझकर ही की होगी।
We are present outside Andheri East branch of New Cooperative India Bank, and you can see the customers who are in the panic mode out here after RBI has instructed that no further businesses can be done until further orders. You know, this is the situation that can be witnessed in this branch, and similar situation across branches in the Mumbai can be witnessed. No withdrawal can be done. They cannot deposit any money. In fact, the bank is being instructed not to issue any loan or do any further business until further orders. You know, let's try and speak to understand. आपका अकाउंट है?
Yes, आपका मेरा कम रकम है, इसका ज़्यादा है।
क्या कहेंगे, जिस तरीके से हमने देखा पीएनबी बैंक के साथ हुआ, यस बैंक के साथ हुआ, काफ़ी कोऑपरेटिव बैंक के साथ इतनी चीज़ें हो रही है, ऐसे में एज ए कस्टमर आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
सर अभी तो क्या है, इतना परेशान हो गए, मैं भी हो गया, वो मेरा अकाउंट है, लोग भी हो गए। अभी घर में जो है इसके ऊपर ये सब दारोमदार है, खर्चा है, लड़की का फीस है, ये है वो है। अभी हम लोग सोच रहे हैं अभी आगे क्या करने का। अभी इन लोग तो क्या है, जवाब देने का जो बोला है 90 डेज में देता है, और 90 डेज के बाद अगर होएगा तो ठीक है, नहीं तो फिर अभी हम लोग क्या समझेंगे इसके आगे। कुछ
हर बार कस्टमर्स को ही क्यों फेस करना पड़ता है?
क्या करेंगे, कस्टमर का भी मजबूरी में तो क्या करेगा, कष्ट का उसको ही करना पड़ेगा ना। अभी क्या कर सकते।
आपको लगता है इससे बाहर आ पाएंगे? क्योंकि पीएनबी और यस बैंक का एग्जांपल हमारे सामने है।
अभी क्या करेंगे सर, प्राइवेट बैंकों का भरोसा ही खत्म हो गया। प्राइवेट बैंकों का भरोसा ही खत्म हो गया ना, अभी कोई बिलीव नहीं करेगा।
90 दिन में सोल्यूशन आ पाएगा?
मुश्किल है, क्योंकि अभी इतना वो पीएमपी बैंक ने नुकसान कर दिया, लोगों का पैसा डुबा दिया, तब ये इनका क्या भरोसा कि इन लोगों को कस्टमर को पेमेंट करेगा वापस।
Well, that's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV.